Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Saltcast. I am your host, Alex. I'm here with Sebastian and Bert. As
Special
always.
episode. Special
Hello, guys.
Special episode.
This is a big episode. Very, very relevant and clickbaity. Hopefully, we get tons of views and listeners.
Maybe this will be our big break.
This is the one. This is the one where we blow up and become super famous and get invited to the next major Marvel movie premiere.
This is also episode either, depending which one comes out first, this is 47 or 48.
Yes, this is going to lead me into my big news. We missed it like an episode ago, but the Saltcast has officially turned 1 year old. Isn't that crazy?
You can now eat solid foods.
Yes, 6 people have been listening to this show for 1 year. God bless your souls.
I'm so sorry, but thank you.
There's only one person on this planet that's listened to every single episode. You know who you are. Thank you.
Number one fan.
Our first 3 months popped off. It's been downhill since.
Yes, we were at significant amount of listens when we were new, and now we've dropped off the face of a cliff. So, but we're gonna.
But here's what we're gonna do.
Year 2.
This is either episode 47 or 48. This is first year completed. And then me and Bert are going to do one more because he's leaving again for the millionth time. And then he's back just in time for episode 50, which we should actually do something for episode 50/1 year. We'll think of a game. It won't be related to any current thing, but we'll think of a game or something.
That'll be the plan.
Yeah.
Episode 50, we'll make an announcement about it again before it happens. So, but this episode, very special. We're doing Deadpool and Wolverine. It just came out about a week ago. It's currently the highest grossing rated R movie of all time. It is popped off in the theaters. Everybody's saying Marvel is back.
You know what's crazy too?
Yeah.
It's the number 1 grossing R-rated movie of all time, and number 2 and 3 are the other Deadpool movies.
That's beautiful.
Love to see it.
I believe 1 is Deadpool and Wolverine, 2 is Deadpool 1, and 3 is Deadpool 2, which is the exact order I'd rank them in.
Yeah.
Well, wait, say that again?
Number 1 is highest grossing is Deadpool and Wolverine. Number 2 is Deadpool 1, and number 3 is Deadpool 2.
Dang.
For R-rated movies.
All right. Well, right now we're currently at $824 million worldwide at the box office. So, yeah, it's kind of going crazy.
Just going to keep
I think
going
people like it. Gonna go out on a limb and say.
Yeah, safe to say, lots of people. Well, actually, we're going to get into this, but it has actually been a somewhat divisive movie. There are a few differing opinions.
At least the critic ratings, it's the lowest reviewed Deadpool movie.
That is true.
Do people really care about critic ratings, though?
Well, that means it's good if they're
the
low.
movie snobs, like the cinema snobs do. Because this isn't real cinema, according to many people.
Well, it was entertainment, and I think that's what cinema is.
Yeah. But we could get into a very long debate about that, but we're not going to do that. All right. How do we want to start this off? Where do we want to begin?
Well,
I don't want to do the thing where we go through the whole story. We don't need to do that. We're going to hit the major stuff, and you're going to
hit
kind
them
of
chronologically, though.
Yeah, we'll try and do that. But
I will say, though, before we get into specific moments, I think this is the most hyped crowd I've had at a movie theater since Spider-Man.
I would have to agree.
Had a pretty empty theater when I was watching it. I went at like 8 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday.
Wow.
That's
Did you go by
crazy.
yourself?
No, I was with a friend.
Oh,
At 8 in the morning? What the hell? There was literally a guy, I won't say at what moment until we get there, but something came on screen. The guy stood up and he went, "Yes, yes!"
That's epic. It was a fun movie experience. I
was
saw
very
it twice.
giddy watching it.
Yes, I saw the movie
Me too.
twice. Oh wow, you did see it twice. Wow. What did you think? Better on the first or second viewing? What do you think?
I think the second.
Really?
Actually, so the first had me hype.
Yes, you need to see it twice. You need to, I think, because
But
it
the second
changed
I
a
was
lot of my
able-
thoughts.
I don't know. The second I was able to appreciate the little things more.
I think so too, and it changed how I think about the movie too. Seeing it a second time, and I might surprise you with some of the things I'm going to mention.
I wonder if I'll agree.
Yeah, but we'll get into that. But I want to start off pros and cons. Get your guys' thoughts.
First, can I say something first before we get into that?
Yeah.
Just a general explanation. The not Wolverine, Deadpool, his universe is fucked. The TVA brings him in. They're like, "Hey, we can save your universe. Well, we can save you, but your universe is fucked." And he's like, "Nah." And then he looks for Wolverine and tries to save his universe. And that's the whole movie.
Yeah, that's like a general plot synopsis. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I want to know your guys' pros and cons of the movie. Like, what are some things that we'll start with pros. Who wants to go first?
Funny.
Yes.
Yeah, I had that obviously as one of mine. The comedy still hits. I mean, if you don't like the other two Deadpool movies, you're not gonna like this because it's more of the same. And that's been one of the critiques is so comedy could actually be a pro or a con depending on where you sit. But for me, it's a pro.
It fits Deadpool. I don't feel like that type of comedy always works. But I think in this case it does.
I think this was the funniest Deadpool movie, though. I think 2 isn't bad, but 2 like kind of went down for me. Like, I understand what people are saying where they're like, "Oh, it's more of the same." That's what I felt like with 2. But bringing in Wolverine is what makes it not more of the same for me.
I think I would agree with you on that. And I like the Deadpool humor. Like, I like the fourth wall breaks, and I like the things that he's talking about.
Yeah, me too.
So for me, it doesn't really get old for me. I generally like it.
I think it might have for me if it was just a Deadpool 3, but having Wolverine really,
dude,
it like changes the whole thing.
Having Wolverine like have his comments, especially when Nice Pool, when we get there,
I hated him.
But like the comment Wolverine made about Nice Pool when like
Handsome Pool
died.
Oh, that was
just funny.
It was fucking murder.
Yeah, he's fucking murdered, you idiot.
Wolverine might have said fuck in every single line that he had. Like, he said the F word so many times.
It was so good.
Yeah, but that is one of my pros. Wolverine.
Can I say something first? Because it's about what Bert was just saying. He says, "I think he died to internal bleeding." And Wolverine goes, "He died to fucking murder."
Yeah. And it was funny because then right before that, we saw Deadpool smacking the body and there was blood coming out of the holes, like the bullet holes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. We're getting ahead of ourselves, but yeah. Oh, there's so many good moments. But yeah, for me, comedy was a pro. The R rating, I think Disney going with the R rating, I think some people were complaining that it wasn't the same. They just put the R rating on it, but it wasn't really R rated. I totally disagree.
That's dumb as shit. Well,
no, they needed to do that for the language and the gore.
Yeah,
well, let me explain what I think about that. I almost agree with that if it wasn't for the language. Like, obviously the gore is still R rated, but I feel like it was less gory than the last 2.
I think it might have been a little bit. There was more blood. Like, the amount of blood, there was just more of that. But, like, the dismemberment and stuff, there wasn't as much of.
Yeah,
like,
but saying it's not R-rated is insane. Like, just by the language alone, it's obviously R-rated.
Yeah, and people's heads explode. Like, I don't know what else you want.
Pretty graphic.
Yeah,
Someone
there's plenty of stuff that's
skin.
going on. Yeah, like, there's so much freaking gore and mutilation.
Cool.
Yeah, like, what the heck?
No, I agree with you. I don't see how you could say it's not R-rated. I'm just saying I think from memory at least, it's been a while since I've seen the other 2, feels slightly less gory, but not like there's a lack of it.
Yeah. What other pros do you guys have? What other pros?
I like how they handled the whole, how are they going to handle Wolverine? Like,
oh yeah, Deadpool makes a joke early on. He's like, "So, I wonder how you're wondering, or I bet you're wondering how we're going to do this without, like, damaging the legacy of Logan." Kicks the thing. We're not.
They just open his grave.
Yeah, it literally starts with a freaking grave robbery.
And then Deadpool starts using his corpse, his bones.
Yes,
as a weapon.
Yeah, this is one of the points.
Scene.
Oh my gosh, this is one of the best opening scenes in any Marvel movie ever, in my opinion.
This scene made me smile ear to ear and think in my head, maybe it's back.
This is the first time in a long ass time I went to a movie, watched the whole thing, and there wasn't a second where I was like, it's getting kind of slow. Like, I was leaning forward the whole time.
I was
Yeah.
actively engaged the entire showing, which is rare.
Yeah. If you watch it a second time, I did feel like there was a couple parts where it did slow down a little bit, but it's like very minimal. And I think
But
that
I feel
they're
like
good.
it slowing down allows for like what character stuff they want to do.
And it barely slows down. Like it's for like a few
It's like
minutes.
it's like a scene.
It's like one of those movies where you almost want it to, though, because you're like, I don't want this to end. At least that's how I felt when I was watching it. I was like, I want it to keep going. I hope we're not close to the end. Are we getting close to the end? I hope not.
Yeah.
I know.
But is that opening scene better than the opening scene of Deadpool 1? Like the
car one?
The bridge scene, yeah.
Yes,
Definitely,
absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
Wow, absolutely. I don't know, absolutely. I think it is, but I don't. It's close
I
for
maybe
me.
need to re-see it.
I
but
think you do because
from
that
memory.
that opening scene in Deadpool 1, that scene is good.
That's good, but no, this one's better.
This movie, this it was funnier. Like it was the first one. I think from Deadpool 1 was like cool because it was actiony, right?
Well, they're both
like he did a lot
actiony.
of cool things.
Yeah,
But so was this one. This one is also actiony and it was funny.
yeah. I mean, the first one does have funny things too. Like there's a few funny things that happen, but
Like he was using fingers as bullets.
yeah. He literally takes apart Wolverine's skeleton and beats people.
Well,
with
I think also it feels a little bit more like they're not just random goons. They're actually like people that could do something to him almost just because it's
Yeah.
the TVA. Whereas in
Like,
Deadpool 1,
one
it's
touch
just
and
like
he-
random dude, you know?
Yeah, with
Yeah.
gun. Like bullets are no big deal to Deadpool.
And he
like-
doesn't even know that one touch will.
Yeah, exactly.
vaporize
Like
him.
there's actually obviously I didn't think he was going to get instantly vaporized, but it feels more threatening in that situation, you know?
Yeah, because it's the possibility is there. Yeah.
Because we know, but he
Yeah.
doesn't.
Man, but that opening scene and then the music with the opening scene and the dancing, like the bye
And
bye
it's so
bye and
meta.
the dance.
How meta
oh, man.
everything is.
Have you guys seen that they renamed the like 13-year-old YouTube music video of that song to From Deadpool and Wolverine?
Oh, that's funny. That was from
That is
NSYNC,
funny.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But man, that was a great song choice. That's another one of my pros is the soundtrack. I feel like they had some really good songs in there mixed in.
I
Did you see
liked
that
the
in
songs.
the old X-Men movie? The NSYNC came on, and then like Wolverine made a disgusted face noise to turn it off.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen that. Yeah.
But that was cool.
I liked the music in this definitely, but I still think for me the Guardians movies are like the peak for like
Music?
soundtracks.
Yeah,
I agree.
They're yeah, maybe. I don't know. I really liked this one in particular. There was a few that really got me. I was like, this is epic. But
Grab your special little sock, you nerds.
oh man, shit's about to get good.
Another one that I really liked. I know everyone's like it didn't progress the Marvel universe, but I feel like this is the only movie in like freaking 10 movies that actually has, because they like locked down what I told you a long time ago and you're like, nah, I don't think that's confirmed. Remember I was like, hey, is this real? That there
The
are like
anchor being
anchor
thing?
beings?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I kind of like that too. That was like one of the major things that they introduced was this idea of anchor beings, which basically like there's a being in each universe that is like essential to that universe's survival, and when that person dies, then the universe basically starts
What
to
happens
die.
if they died naturally? And what happens
takes a
before they were
couple-
born?
Takes
Yeah,
a couple
see-
thousand years for the universe to die, apparently.
Yeah, but it's a cool concept, but it also, like Bert just said, it opens you up to a lot of like plot holes. So I mean, it's like a give and take thing, I guess. Like you just kind of
Does it
have to
get passed
ignore.
down to like from parent to child sort of thing.
Who knows? Like we could
Where
ask
it's like
so many
Assassin's
questions.
Creed, where it's like the second you have a kid, it like the
Yeah,
anchor
right.
being changes host.
I think
Yeah,
that's
I
probably
don't
what
know.
they'll say at some point, because that would make sense.
Well, because they replaced the anchor being in Deadpool's.
Yeah. So like Wolverine Logan from the movie Logan is Deadpool's universe's anchor being, and since he's dead, Deadpool's universe is dying.
Yeah, so well here's the thing though. I like that they introduced anchor beings, but then they immediately made it useless because it doesn't matter, because it takes thousands of years for the universe to die. So let's say,
yeah, that's true.
let's say for
Universe, that isn't
example,
that long.
yeah, let's say for example, we don't know who it is, but it's probably Spider-Man in the main MCU. If he died, it wouldn't matter because it would take thousands of years for that universe to die. So we would just keep watching the movies through the forever, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Unless something changes to where they're like, oh yeah, it's instant. Which they
Yeah.
could retcon it, I guess. But
Maybe it
What
was
if they make
taking
it
long
like-
because he was supposed to die like that or something. I don't know.
maybe, yeah, who knows?
What it probably will help with, though, is that they can't leave their universe. So, like, maybe Spider-Man can't leave for long,
Yeah. Maybe.
or his universe will be destroyed.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, we
I
don't know if it's Spider-Man, but it's Spider-Man. It's probably Spider-Man.
Yeah.
What
who
if
knows?
it's the girl that has everyone's power?
Gorilla?
Gorilla.
Yeah, yeah.
What if
Let's
it's
not talk
Goose?
about her. That would be funny. Another pro, I have Wolverine in general. Hugh Jackman coming back as
Are
Wolverine.
you talking about Huge
he was
Jackman?
ripped.
Oh my God, Hugh Jackman, freaking!
I
He was
love
a
those
beast.
memes. They're like Huge Jackman, more like Huge Jacked Man.
Felt like I was watching Golden Girls for a minute there.
He literally looked amazing.
Yeah, he did.
Calm down. Calm down.
He looked as
He-
good as he did back. Well, in the original X-Men movies, he looks better than he did in the original ones. He looked good, and
He looked like he did in that one. I think it's called The Wolverine. That was like his peak physique.
Yeah,
The
that one was.
Japanese or something
Yeah,
like
when
that.
he goes to
Oh,
Tokyo,
that one. I remember seeing
or
that one.
Japan.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
like his peak, I think.
Isn't that where he gets his adamantium skeleton?
That's where he has to like cut himself open.
Yeah, he already has the skeleton at that point.
Oh. What? Okay.
But yeah, there was a lot that I liked about his performance. After watching it a second time, this was one of the things that changed in my mind. Like, I think Wolverine carries the movie. I think without him, this movie doesn't work at all. Like,
I think him and Deadpool balance each other out perfectly.
I think it's hard to say just that because I feel like it's them together. Like if it was just Wolverine, it's the same situation.
no, that's what I'm saying. Like, a Deadpool movie. Like, if I don't think you can make a Deadpool 3 that's as good as this without having Wolverine added into it. Like, I don't know where you go with the story and stuff.
No, I agree with you, and that I think is just shown by Deadpool 2. Like Deadpool 1 was awesome because it was our first introduction to him. Deadpool 2 was still good, but it's like we've seen this. And then Deadpool 3, the reason I don't feel like that is because of Wolverine.
Yeah, that's a great point. Yeah, using the Deadpool 2 example is a good point. I agree. That's exactly what I'm saying. So in that sense, like, that's why I say Wolverine carries.
Yeah, but I agree with you. I'm just saying that I don't think it's like only him though. It's them together. Like just Wolverine would be the same problem.
Yeah. What else? The costumes. Oh my gosh. I already liked Deadpool's costume from 1 and 2, and I didn't think I didn't think you could improve it, but they improved it. Like, just adding that like extra contrast and like the little bit of pop to the red, like, it looks even better. Like, I really
didn't
like
even
the
notice
suit.
the difference, to be honest.
If you look at the old suit, you'll notice.
I'll look it
I
up
liked
right
the
now.
end credit scene.
Oh yeah, the end credit scene was good. We'll talk about that later. But and then Wolverine's suit. Oh my gosh, that was perfect. It looked great. Hugh Jackman looked great in it. There was not too much CGI except for later. I'll talk about that.
There was one scene that stuck out in my head.
There's a couple scenes. It's mostly in the third act that the
His
CGI
shirtless
took me out
mask
of it.
scene doesn't look great.
There was when they were jumping out of the minivan.
That too, yeah. That too.
Oh, you mean the bus?
Yeah, the bus.
Yeah, the bus. That's what it was.
But man,
Yeah,
the
those
suits
two.
look great.
I can let them slide though,
Yeah, it didn't bother me too much.
especially
the
because
suits,
there was
man.
a lot of other CGI moments that were good.
Mm-hmm. The suits were amazing. The colors look great. Wolverine looks great. Man,
I
The
have another-
references were off the chart.
I have another
yeah.
another plus.
what is it?
The supporting cast.
Yes, the cameos
Ron?
and the supporting cast. Yeah,
I
There was-
honestly wish they would not have shown X-23 in the trailer,
Me
because
too.
that would have been the one I would have been most hyped for.
Yeah.
I wish I didn't know that. Yeah. Trailers suck. That's why trailers suck. But yeah, X-23 being in it was pretty epic. I wish she would have done more, though. That was one of my
She
things I
honestly
wished.
did more than I expected.
She had a cool moment when she charged the Juggernaut.
Also,
I was
she had
almost
the-
upset that they never put her in a Wolverine's costume, but then it saved it for me
The
in that like
glasses.
final fight scene
The
with
glasses.
the glasses. Yeah, I was like, okay, I'm cool with this. Like, if you're not gonna
I
do the
remember
suit, that was
looking
cool.
over at my friend saying that was badass.
That was fun. Yeah, I did. That saved it for me.
I as far as I don't know, there are a lot of good scenes, but I think my favorite actually is, without Deadpool in it, the scene between X-23 and Wolverine outside at like the nighttime. I think that's my favorite part of the whole movie.
Really, yeah. I mean, as far as emotional scenes, that one's the best. Wolverine is all of the emotion in this scene, except for maybe one that I'm thinking of. But Wolverine, he carries all of the emotional beats. Like, if it wasn't for his motivations, and even this is one of my, I guess we can kind of start getting into cons now, because I think we may, unless anybody has any other pros.
No.
I guess one other pro I could say, just the fight scenes in general. Like, there's plenty of them, and they're
Yeah.
all good.
Yeah, honestly,
They were all satisfying.
it wasn't like legendary, but I felt like the villain was stronger than your average Marvel villain.
Yeah, I think Cassandra Nova was okay.
Yeah, she wasn't, a top tier, but she was better than what I expect from a Marvel villain.
When I
Yeah,
saw her
that's
at
fair.
first, I was like, how are they going to win against this?
Yeah, she was a little bit OP.
She was, yeah. She was super OP. And she's an Omega level mutant. Like, she's super powerful. And her whole thing is, like, she's psychotic. Like, she's insane. The thing where she mentions, like, trying to strangle Charles Xavier in the womb with her umbilical cord, like, that's canon. Like, that it happened in the comics. Like, you can see it.
I
Why?
expected it.
She's just crazy.
Fuck that guy.
Yeah, she's
Why
like a
would-
psycho bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guess you can't have two perfect kids.
One of
Yeah,
them
I
couldn't
guess.
even walk.
Well, that happened later. He wasn't born that way. But,
Yeah, the other one's a psychotic bitch. So
Yeah.
which one do you want?
So what else?
true. I think that's it for pros for me. I think I got everything.
I'll probably
Probably
think of more
remember
pros
something.
later, but
Yeah. But getting into the cons, like we were talking about some of the story beats, like some of that didn't work for me. Like, this is why I have a hard time like putting it as my favorite of the Deadpool movies. Like, I'm not sure still. But I like question it kind of, because the motivations of the characters, like, it didn't do it for me enough, especially Wade's. Like, he carries that little photograph, of all of his friends and family and Vanessa. And I don't like what they did with Vanessa. Like, I don't see Vanessa, that seemed out of character for me. Because, like, the first two
For her to
Deadpool
leave him?
movies, yeah, like, revolve around their whole, like, relationship. Like, she is the driving force for everything.
I
So
liked. Sorry.
I was just saying, like, so that part of it kind of, like, I was like, I don't feel like Vanessa would do that, but whatever. And then
Well,
I feel like
just
they didn't
to talk
explain
about
enough.
to talk about Deadpool's motivation, I almost disagree with you. I liked his motivation not relating to her. I thought they could have done it without her. Yeah, I agree with that. But I think his whole, like, it just shouldn't be related to her. It just be that he wants to be important and not on his own in this side universe. That should be his motivation. Like, oh, I want to actually be somewhere that matters. I liked that.
Yeah. They should have, I guess you could say they should have just leaned more into that whole thing.
Yeah, and it should have not been related to her at all. It should have just been, he breaks the freaking fourth wall all the time. It should have been like, I'm tired of being in this bullshit, like, useless ass, shitty Fox universe. I want to be in the good one.
Yeah. And just make it a full joke the whole way. I feel like you can, I don't know. That's risky too, because if you do that, then you really don't have, like, emotional stakes in the movie at all, because it's so meta.
Or just make it about saving everyone and not
No,
just
but
her.
it can be emotional, because it's like he's like, what I thought it actually was emotional, like that scene where he's watching the Avengers on all the freaking screens, and he's like, they almost did it, and he's like, man, I can actually matter, like he wants to matter. This is his chance to matter.
Yeah, they should have leaned more into the him wanting to matter part of it too. Then, like, I feel like there wasn't enough of that, because I feel like they play it as too much of a joke.
Yeah, but I think at the end they kind of explained that if you're looking for, like, if you want to matter, look around and, like, you matter to the people in your life.
Yeah, that was like the big, like, eureka moment for him.
Yeah, that
was his character arc.
Sucks for me because, like, it was like going there and then didn't go there.
Yeah. And then this is as much of Wolverine's movie as it is Deadpool's, and so.
It is Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, so, and that the title does it justice, like, that's definitely true. But I did not, like, I was dying for, like, more of, like, the backstory to that version of Logan or Wolverine. Like, what happened? Like, I wanted to know. I wanted a flashback of, like, them being killed, the X-Men.
It sounded like pretty much he was a drunkard. He'd go out to the bar a lot.
Yeah.
One night the X-Men were like, yo, can you not go, please? And he was like, fuck you guys, I'm gonna go.
Yeah.
And then they were like saying, they were basically being like, please don't go, and he went anyways. And then he came back and they were all dead.
Yeah, like he says the humans came back and killed everyone.
That's awesome. Like, that's something you want to see. Like, something that can take out all the X-Men minus Wolverine has to be a pretty epic battle.
Could it just be like Sentinels?
I just wanted like a little scene about that and like him being there or something. Like, I felt like something was missing with that. Like, there was like, it would have
been cool to see him go on like a killing spree and like kill innocent people or something.
Yeah, at least see them dead
too. Yeah, like him just like covered in blood or something.
Back, you know,
the claws pops.
Like, minus the story, there's nothing really to make us like see him like his low point. Minus what we're told.
Yeah, I was dying for something of that.
It's just kind of weird to me, at least, to think like something was insane enough to kill every X-Men, but not strong enough that Wolverine couldn't kill them all on his own.
Well, I think the thing was like they were gone when he got back. Like, there was nobody there. And then he went on a killing spree after the fact and like was traveling the world, and he started killing everyone, like not just the bad guys.
But maybe like his healing factor is what allowed him to do it.
Oh yeah, like he could basically survive anything.
Because he's like the only one that has that healing factor beyond Deadpool, right?
No, there's other people that have healing factors.
At least in the X-Men.
Yeah, they're like the two main ones. But I was just dying for something more with that. Like, I felt like that was missing something. There was like a little something missing from that. I was hoping that they were gonna do like the Old Man Logan story, kind of, where Logan, like, he thinks that he's at the X Mansion basically, and he gets tricked by Mysterio to think that like the X Mansion is under attack by all of these supervillains, and so he kills them all. But it was actually Mysterio's trick, and he was actually fighting the X-Men and killed all of the X-Men.
Wow.
And he didn't know. Like, if they did that, oh my gosh, that would have been crazy.
That would have been.
And then that's the reason that this is the worst Wolverine. That would have been perfect.
But that's not his fault. He got tricked. This was his fault. He was choosing alcohol over his family.
Well,
yeah, I feel like the fault part of it, yeah.
Also, they can't do something that awesome, because otherwise they'd have to actually do it, you know? You can't just say that happened.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what they did.
No. They just said that he left and he came back and they were dead. They didn't say that he killed them all.
Yeah, but I mean, still, like, just the fact that they're all dead, that would have been something cool to see.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I'm just saying they can't use that epic storyline that you're talking about, because they probably would want to save that for a real movie about that, you know?
Yeah. Another con that I have with the story is, like, they make all these meta jokes about, like, Marvel being at a low point and...
Oh, I said this, I'm pretty sure.
All of these things about that, and then they end up being that, too. Like, they joke about it, but then they go ahead and they do it.
He's like, I hate multiverse movies. This is a multiverse movie, my man.
Yeah. And then they mention, like... he literally says it, like, oh, we're getting to the third act. things are about to slow down or something like that. And the third act
Hang in
definitely, yeah, the third act is like the weakest of the movie, weakest point of the movie for me.
Yeah, and then there's that one point, and that's in the trailer. He's like, "You want to tell me what's wrong, or your third act flashback?" And then he has that third act flashback later.
Yeah, that I didn't. Those ones, that part of it kind of bothered me with the story stuff. But
thing I have to say
kind
about,
of, but I also kind of like they like can't be surprised. They did say it was gonna happen.
yeah,
no,
but
they
like
were
the whole
saying they
Deadpool
don't
thing
like
is,
that.
yeah, the whole Deadpool
Yeah.
thing is to call it out, and then you would think you're aware of it, don't do it, and then they do it anyway.
Yeah, it's like just because you say it doesn't mean
That
you
it's
can
okay.
do it.
Yeah, but it's like a minor thing, not like a huge big deal thing.
Yeah, that isn't a huge thing for me. One thing that kind of I'll have to see to know for sure, but I'm assuming since there is a ton of references to like Fox and Disney at this point in time, like you watch this movie in 10 years, you might be like, the hell's he talking about? You know?
Yeah, maybe for some of them.
I don't know.
I don't know. It just
Like Disney's
Because
at a
you'll
low
see the
point right
Fox
now.
logo and be like, "Damn, it
Yeah.
must be a relic."
yeah.
At the very least, it'll make you Google it.
But I mean, Deadpool has been in the comics for decades, and like, it's still fine. Like,
You know what I saw?
you're able to gather enough like
that I
context
thought
to know what's
was,
going on.
I saw something that I thought was pretty cool. It would have been kind of cool if they did. I guess they can't do this, but I saw somewhere where someone was like, Deadpool is the only Marvel character that knows Stan Lee is dead since he breaks the fourth wall so much or something like that.
I mean, he's the only one that even would know Stan Lee exists because he knows he's in a movie and he knows he's in a comic. The other ones
But did you
wouldn't
see
even
the
know Stan
reference
Lee.
To
On the
Stan Lee
bus?
in this movie? Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah, I
saw it.
did.
that was cool.
Yeah. Any other cons that you guys have? Do you think it was too fan servicey? That's been a thing too that people have said.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't either.
No,
I think
For
the
me-
main cons for me was the weak story, lack of exposition at certain points. Oh, too much exposition too at other points. It's like they over-explain things when I didn't care and under-explain things when I did.
oh,
Wait, what
I
did they
didn't like Gambit.
over-explain?
Really?
What did they
We'll talk about Gambit later.
over-explain?
Over-explain, like, there's one point at I think all of them are in the third act, where, what's the frick's the guy's name? Paradox, the TVA guy. He's, like, talking about the freaking Time Ripper thing and all of that, and he talks for, like, he says, like, 3 sentences, and I was like, I don't care about all of that. And he, like, had a long tangent about that at one point. There's another one where, I think it's it might be when like all the cameos happen. They're talking about something that like nobody cared about. There was like 2 of them, maybe 3.
Okay. That
something
might
like
be true. I might have to see it again to know that for sure. But as far as the story thing, I
They're all
don't
at
think
the
it
end,
was.
though.
I don't think the story was as weak as you're saying. Like I don't think it's a legendary god tier thing, but I thought it was what it needed to be.
Yeah, it wasn't bad in any way.
And I thought like
but this is why I have a hard time saying that it's better than Deadpool 1, because Deadpool 1 story is really good. Deadpool 1 story is tight. It tells a really good character arc for Deadpool. Like it's a love story. Like you know what's going on. Like it's very clearly defined, and there's a very clear start, middle, and like a solid end that is like very satisfying.
I just feel like, at least for me, this one had more like emotional moments with just having, even with just that one scene with Wolverine and X-23 was like more emotional to me than the entirety of that Deadpool one.
I think the highs are higher than in Deadpool 1, but overall, Deadpool 1 to me is a like more clean and like nicely cut story.
I could see you saying that because of the fact that Deadpool 1 can stand on its own, whereas this movie like almost requires you to watch Logan.
Yeah, it kind of requires you to watch Loki too.
Yeah. But I would say, though, that this movie doesn't really require you to watch much of the Deadpool movies. Like, they kind of sum it up at the beginning pretty well.
yeah.
Yeah, it's almost required more to watch Loki because otherwise you wouldn't know what the TVA is. You wouldn't understand the references about under new management and stuff like that. Like you wouldn't know what anything is.
Yeah,
you wouldn't know the
definitely.
Void. You wouldn't know Alioth. You wouldn't know any of that.
Hit up Loki and Logan before this movie.
Yeah, I think those are. I might say those are must watches.
I don't think you need to watch Logan, but I think it hits way, way better if you do.
Yeah.
I don't think you need to watch any of them to enjoy the movie, but I think the movie is that much better if you watch Logan and Loki first.
I feel like you would be so like think about if you didn't even like know not even season 1 of Loki, it would be very confusing at the beginning.
Yeah, it would.
Like you could watch just season 1 of Loki and pretty much get it.
Yeah.
But if you watched not a single episode, you'd be like,
because you need the context of what the TVA is in the Void. Because 90% of the movie's in the Void.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that's pretty much it for cons. There wasn't too much stuff. It was like little things here and there. I still think it's a good movie. Great movie. Really fun. It's one of the most fun movies I've been to in a while.
For me, it's I know you disagree, but for me, it's slightly better than Spider-Man.
No Way Home?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I definitely disagree with that.
For
I think No Way Home is significantly better.
No Way Home pisses me off so much with the fact that he's like, let me save these like 4 or 5 villains and risk billions of lives to do it. Like, that's just the stupidest fucking move.
Spider-Man's
No Way
like
Home
that,
could have
though.
been avoided so easily too. If all Doctor Strange could have been like,
yeah, like,
hey, I'm gonna cast a spell. Is there anyone that you need to know who you are still?
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you're complaining that Deadpool and Wolverine, the story's kind of weak, I feel like No Way Home has so many moments that are like, we just got to get everyone together, so whatever.
I
Holes
disagree.
into that movie.
I disagree with that.
That's insane.
I feel like the story and the emotional beats of No Way Home are way harder than Deadpool's.
After everyone gets in, but I'm saying like the like inciting incident is ridiculous. Like it's stupid.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that you could argue that. Yeah, I guess, but I don't know. Like Peter's motivation throughout, I think that's like tit for tat, like a Spider-Man thing. Like Spider-Man would definitely do that.
Spider-Man would risk billions of people dying to save 3, 4?
Yes. Yes.
No way.
If it's not a guarantee, yes, he would do it. I'm telling you, Spider-Man would definitely do that. He's going to try and save everyone.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he would try, but...
That's his character flaw, yes. That is definitely his character flaw. And it comes back to bite him in the ass constantly. Like, it's a constant thing in Spider-Man comics all the time. And it's just like, for me, I guess maybe that's why I like vibe with it more, because it's like so, like the character does it a lot, and I'm like used to it.
Honestly, I'm thinking back to the cartoon. He does do a lot of dumb shit.
Yeah, I'll let that one slide.
He fucks himself a lot.
But the Doctor Strange thing is insane. Like,
I mean, you gotta have a movie somehow. So yeah, there's gotta be something dumb.
Well, I agree with you, but I'm just saying that for me, that might be the worst one of every Marvel movie as far as like, we just got to get this going, so make someone who's supposed to not be this stupid.
I don't think it's Doctor Strange being stupid. It's more of him just being arrogant, and that's like consistent for his flaw. Yeah, that's consistent for his character. He's very arrogant. He would just assume that he can do that and then fuck it up.
I don't know. I mean, it's a good movie for me. Like, they're close, but for me, this one's better.
Yeah, well, that's interesting. That's an interesting debate right there.
I also feel like you're just biased because you...
I might be. I am definitely a Spider-Man fan, so like that, like there is probably some bias, yeah. But to me, like I feel like the story is just better. But
I could see it going either way, though. I could see it going either way. But I think the fact that you're saying no way, it's not even close, is a bit ridiculous.
It's close, but I think like I don't think it's as close. I don't know. I think Spider-Man's better. Like I don't really have to think too hard to say that it's better, in my opinion. But it's whatever. Let's see. What else do we need to talk about here?
All the cameos. We haven't said one. Well,
I know,
we said one.
We can get into those. Oh, I wanted to talk real quick
Oh, sorry.
about the fights. We get that first fight in the opening scene. We talked about that one. And then the first time that Deadpool and Wolverine fight. What did you guys think of that? Oh, man, that one was
question,
good.
Though, this might just be something I'm unsure of. So Wolverine goes to slash at Deadpool. Deadpool uses his sword, and his hand blocks the sword, but it's between his knuckles, not hitting his claws. Shouldn't that dig into his hand?
When Deadpool blocks Wolverine's claws?
When Wolverine blocks the sword with his claws and it goes between his claws, shouldn't that dig into his hand, or is there something that I'm missing? You know what I'm saying?
If it's hitting his fingers in any way, like, it's not going to dig through because his skeleton, you can't break it.
Right between his fingers, because the claws come out his knuckles, and if a sword goes between the claws, it's going into his hand, right? Or am I just crazy?
I don't know. I'd have to see it again. Because I think he stops it with the claws. I don't think it gets to his knuckles, but I don't know. I could be wrong.
Yeah, well, he does, but how? How does that stop it from moving?
Well, he had both hands. I think he had it, like, wedged. I don't know. I would have to see that actual
it was,
scene.
like, wedged between...
Yeah.
Okay, that might make sense, but you understand what I'm saying, at least from my memory,
yeah, why didn't
right?
it just slice through his hand? Yeah, I get what you mean.
But whatever, it doesn't matter. But yeah, their first fight, actually, for me, wasn't their best one. It was the car one.
Yeah, man, but that first one,
Yeah,
when Wolverine gets
insane.
on all fours and moves like a Wolverine, I was literally having
That
like a
was
nerd
awesome.
moment. That was so awesome. And Deadpool just starts shooting at him, and then he just gets on all fours and starts charging at him. That was epic.
I like how when he stops and he's like, "This minivan fucks."
Yeah, that was hilarious.
He's like, I take it back. The Honda Odyssey fucks.
That
Hard.
was Honda Odyssey fucks.
Hard.
I loved
that.
that.
Was good. I loved when Deadpool, like, in that first fight with him and Wolverine, he goes, "Oh God, this is gonna hurt." It's like he doesn't want to fight.
Yeah, he's
I'm
like,
glad.
"Damn it."
I'm glad that that fight was not the entire thing that was in the trailer.
Yeah, thank God.
Because when I saw that trailer, I'm like, this is probably most of the fight. This is a lot of that fight that I'm seeing in this trailer, but it's probably about like twice the length of the trailer, maybe more.
Yeah, when Wolverine spits the bullet out, that was also cool. He says something when he spits it out. He's like, "I don't give a fuck," and spits it out or something.
I think the hypest moment was what you said when he gets on all fours. That was definitely the hypest moment.
I couldn't believe. I was smacking the person next to me. I was like, "This is incredible."
Like a random person next to you?
No, it was my girlfriend.
He's there and then like
Poor
just
stranger.
on
He's
his
like,
own.
"All right, buddy, calm
Wolverine
down."
starts crawling and you're like, look, and dude's like, what do you...
Dude
Get
just
off
hits
me.
you with that bombastic side eye.
No,
Yeah.
the guy actually starts cheering too. He's like, I can't... That would be epic, actually.
Yeah. All right, but so we can start getting into cameos because right after this fight is the first like major cameo.
Oh, yeah, when he... Yo, honestly, I fell for it. Like, when he came in and I saw him, I did not know who it was. I didn't fall for the full thing, but...
As soon as he spoke, it was obvious who he was.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
I was like, I have no idea who this is. And then you see who it is, and it's Chris Evans. That blew my mind. I did not expect him to be in this movie at all. But once I saw him, and I saw Chris Evans, I'm like, I know for a fact that's not Captain America. I know who it's going to be. I knew instantly.
I also felt like I knew, but then I started doubting myself because they started playing Avengers music. They started playing the Captain America
Even
theme,
Deadpool was
and then
like,
he had
he's
like
gonna
the
say
red.
it.
Yeah, he had the red, white, and blue on his sleeves. I was like, "There's no way
Deadpool's
they're doing
say the
Cap."
thing.
I was like, "Am I wrong? Like they're not going to
He
do
thought
Cap.
maybe
There's no
he's
way."
like a different variant of Cap.
Yeah, I was like, "Are they?" I'm like, "This has to be Johnny Storm." And then he does the thing, and Deadpool's behind him.
Yeah,
And,
Deadpool's
or
like,
Cap
say the
says,
thing.
"Stay behind me," or "Stay close. I got this." And Deadpool comes behind him and like holds him. That was funny
he's-
too.
He's like, say the thing, and he goes, flame on.
Yeah, no, he's like, he's gonna say it, and then Wolverine's like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, the thing, just watch." And then he's like, "Avengers," and then Chris Evans
Flame
yells,
on.
"Flame on!" That was epic.
Yo, I loved that, but I am so sad that they did Johnny so dirty, man.
Johnny
Because-
gets fucked.
Johnny is one of my favorites. I love Johnny.
I do
I
like
would
the
say-
Human Torch a lot.
I think he might be a top 5. I would have to think really hard, but he might be in my top 5.
Really? Yeah. I really like Johnny too a lot, but he gets bodied right away because like the mutant squad rolls up.
So.
Yeah, he ran into his ultimate like counter. He ran into a guy that controls fire, so like there's no way out of that one for him.
Who was that guy?
That was Pyro. He was from like the original X-Men movies. He has the ability to control any flame. He can't create flames, but if there's a flame like within his vicinity, he can control it. So he basically just
worst matchup.
Yeah, so he basically just snuffed
like,
out
really
Johnny.
Unlucky.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought he died at that point when he crashed, and I thought he broke his neck when he fell off the scaffolding.
Or decapitate him or something.
Yeah, I thought he was dead instantly there, and that was it. So I was actually happy. Like, he was in it longer than I expected. So
Me too. But yeah, it turned out he wasn't dead. But we also get the Wolverine and Sabretooth rematch. It's short, but it's still good.
Yeah, he bodies him in an
actually, this
instant.
part was really good. I actually really liked this because it was really funny. They do their little square off, and then Wolverine ends up cutting off Sabretooth's head. That's like a reference to like back in the day in the old X-Men movies. Wolverine's like, I'm gonna kill you, and Sabretooth's like, how are you gonna do that? He's like, first off, I'll try cutting your head off, see if that works. So it's kind of funny to see that he tried it and it worked.
Yeah.
But and then I love the part where Deadpool picks up the head. He's like, I have your queen, Furiosa.
Yeah, I kind of want to see that movie actually.
And he's like, he calls Wolverine something, but he keeps calling her or she, and he's like, sorry, I'm gender blind. He's like, I know it's pronounced him.
Yeah,
but
that
I don't
was
see
funny.
gender. Yeah, that was funny to me. I really liked that. But they end up getting captured. They end up getting knocked out by like a giant sentinel leg. But then they get taken to Cassandra Nova's like
With Johnny.
Ant-Man base with Johnny. Yeah, Johnny's
And
actually
I actually
alive.
like how he talked about Reed a little bit.
Yeah, Reed. He name drops Reed. Yeah, we see.
Basically confirms that they're probably all dead, right?
Yeah, like that. His Reed is at least.
Well, his
We'll
whole
probably get
universe.
Oh yeah, his universe too, because that he was pruned, so that's why he's there. So yeah, but
Kind of sad though, because it's like I actually didn't hate those movies, and didn't
I don't
matter
think it was
anything
that
they
version
did
though.
because
The suit was different.
he could just have a different suit. I'm pretty sure it was that version.
I don't know. I think he's supposed to come back again as the Human Torch in Secret Wars. So it's going to be another version. Who knows? We might never know what version it is. But we get Cassandra Nova. She plays around with Deadpool's head. Plays around with everybody's heads.
See, that's
Pushes
actually good
Wolverine to
CGI
the
when she
ground.
puts her hands into people's face.
Yeah, that is good and nasty.
I like the effects for it.
Yeah,
That's what
Deadpool goes on this super long tangent about what he says that Johnny said about Cassandra Nova. He basically starts this epic shit talk rant and ends up getting Johnny killed. Cassandra
hilarious.
Nova rips his skin off.
Yeah, they did Johnny so dirty. I was so sad. It almost made me think, like, man, I kind of wish he wasn't in this movie now. They just bodied him.
Yeah, any Johnny Storm fans, it's gonna be a rough day for him. But yeah, they end up Eliath from Loki season 1 episode 5 shows up, and Deadpool actually says that Eliath. He calls that out. That was a funny moment. And Deadpool and Wolverine end up escaping on a Sentinel boot again.
That looked so dumb, but whatever.
Yeah. Trying to think what else happens. They have the diner scene. Oh, that one was not bad.
Yeah, they escape. They go to the diner. That's in the trailer. Pretty
You
much
think
the whole
Deadpool
scene.
spelled food or alcohol?
You think what?
You think he smelled the food or the alcohol from the diner?
Oh, Wolverine, you mean?
Yeah.
Probably the alcohol.
Oh, I thought you... Okay, yeah. Yeah,
Sorry, I said Deadpool.
Yeah.
Then they
But
go
that's
out
like one
into
of
like a
the-
field and they see Handsome. I fucking hated Handsome Pool. I was so glad he died.
Nice Pool. When he showed up and he had the Canadian accent, I was like, that's funny. That one got me. I laughed.
That was like, I literally hated that character. If he didn't die, I would have disliked the movie more.
Yeah, that was funny. Well, he was supposed to not be liked, I'm pretty sure. Even Deadpool was like, fuck this guy.
Yeah, I hated him. Oh my god.
You probably felt how Deadpool felt about him then. Yeah, that he was funny though. I liked him. And then you get Dogpool, and you get the scene of them talking, and Dogpool just licking the inside of Deadpool's mouth. That was funny.
I
That
actually
was so
didn't.
gross.
I actually didn't care for Dogpool until the very end when Dogpool showed up again.
I love when Dogpool
Yeah.
showed up and Deadpool just fell to his knees.
That's the part
Yeah.
I'm talking about. That was when I was sold on Dogpool. I was like, all right, Dogpool.
He's like,
wrong.
here, girl, here, come to Papa.
And then she runs at him, and then freaking Handsome Pool, and I was like, I hate this guy.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
And-
Yeah. And
Then
Deadpool's
Deadpool's
like,
like,
don't
"Fuck."
insult this animal's intelligence.
It can decide for itself who it wants to be its papa.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that was so funny.
But before that, he gives them the Honda Odyssey.
Oh yeah. He's like, it's a fucking Honda Odyssey. That was funny.
And they have what I
Don't
think
worry.
is their best fight scene. The car fight scene rocks.
Well, right
And
before that,
is-
what leads into the car fight scene is one of the best scenes in the movie.
Yeah, I was about to say that might be number 2 for emotional moments for me.
I think that one was the most emotional for me. For Deadpool. Like, Wolverine had a more emotional one, but the Deadpool character development in that part was the best. Basically, Wolverine, or they're talking and they're in the car and everything, and Wolverine's driving, and Deadpool accidentally mentions that he says, if the TVA can fix your universe, and Wolverine catches him, and he's like, what the fuck did you say? If? And he's like, yeah,
What do you
if.
mean by that, buddy?
Yeah.
Wolverine's
And
a
so-
fucking dumbass if he really believed him.
I mean, why not? You
think
literally
he
just got
was just
teleported to a
desperate.
freaking void planet with people that are crazy. Might believe anything at that point.
But you would believe anything, yeah, but I wouldn't believe that this guy knew. You know?
Fair point. Fair
Like, yeah,
point.
I would think, yeah, maybe it's possible, but I don't think this guy knows if it is or not.
Yeah, and Deadpool's like, I made an educated wish. And Wolverine's like, an educated fucking wish? And then he's like, say one more thing. Give me anything, one word. And Deadpool's like, a gubernatorial.
Dude, that was such a funny fucking line.
Oh my gosh. And
That's some
Wolverine,
shit
like,
that I've done with
is-
my parents when we're arguing.
Yeah, Wolverine like goes to hit him and Deadpool screams. He's like, you're such a fucking joke. And then Hugh Jackman goes on a great freaking shit talk and just absolutely destroys Deadpool. Like he
And
goes
you know what's
in
cool
on
about
him.
that too? If they would have done what I said and focused more on him wanting to be important, that would have hit even harder.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree. It's a good point. But man, that scene was still really good because you felt the emotion of Deadpool. He finally didn't have a response, and Wolverine calls him on, and he's like, "What? Don't have anything to say this time? Mouth." And Deadpool just sits there in silence. I thought they were gonna ruin it and like make a joke, but he just says, "Okay, I'm gonna fight you now." And Wolverine just laughs, and then he punches him in the nose. His nose starts bleeding.
Then that was the best scene and the best fight scene in the movie for
Yes,
me.
I agree.
That was
Especially when
such a
the radio got
creative
turned
fight
on.
scene too.
That reminded
Oh,
me
yeah.
of Kingsman.
Oh yeah, I could see that. Yeah, the choreography is like very
yeah.
Kingsman like.
That was a Kingsman fight scene. And Kingsman, if you followed the pod, you would know. I think Kingsman has the best fight scenes in all of movies.
It's really good.
Yeah, I
yeah,
love the
that-
Kingsman fights.
The Honda
For a fight
Odyssey
scene to remind
fight
you of
scene is
Kingsman,
epic.
that fight scene fucks.
Yeah, about as hard as the Odyssey.
Bert's gonna
But,
get a Honda Odyssey now.
Fuck, I might get a Honda
I
Odyssey
do
after that
want a
movie.
minivan. I have thought about it.
But yeah, that fight scene goes hard. And it's kind of funny. Like they just fight all through the day and night. And
Until they
since
both pass out.
yeah, they both have a healing factor, so it's just like until they get tired, basically. But yeah, that was a really good fight scene.
It was great. And then it just cuts back to them both like in this absolutely destroyed, covered in blood car.
Yeah, and
Deadpool's, like,
Deadpool's
tied
like
up
all
in
wrapped up in the seatbelts. Oh, that was good. Yeah,
and then someone shows up, right?
Yeah, somebody shows up and ends up taking them to the headquarters of the Cameo Fuckfest.
Oh,
That's where all of the major cameos will happen.
My movie
Deadpool-
theater exploded at this part.
I actually
Deadpool
got
wakes
super
up.
excited for a couple of them.
Yeah, Deadpool wakes up and it's the bed from Thor Ragnarok. If you notice, he wakes up in that bed. And
I didn't notice that.
Wolverine's up. And how does it start? They don't know where they're at. Wolverine's getting drunk.
drinking.
Yeah, Deadpool's like, well, we need to figure out where the fuck we're at. And then they hear somebody coming down the hall. Deadpool.
It starts with Elektra.
Yeah, Elektra shows up, blocks Deadpool's blade with her sigh, and walks into the room. And it's Jennifer Gardner. That was epic. If you guys have you guys ever seen the Elektra movie?
I've seen clips of it.
It's not good. It's bad.
When I was watching this, well, go through all of them and then I'll tell you.
Yeah, so Jennifer Gardner from Elektra and the old Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck. And then this next one is the one that really got me and the theater. And I did not expect at all. And they hit you with this fucking growl. Do you guys notice, like, did you hear the growl whenever he showed up?
Yeah, I did.
Oh my god. I was like, who the fuck? And then you see Wesley Snipes' blade walks through the door.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that was insane.
Was that the order? He was second?
Yeah, he was second.
Okay.
Wesley Snipes' blade walks through the door, full trench coat, looking great. Looks just like he did from the Blade movies in the early 2000s. He doesn't look any different.
He does not. He's got like gray in his beard, but that's it.
Yeah. Which doesn't make sense because vampires don't age, but whatever. But yeah, man, Blade.
He's outside
I did
of
not
time
expect.
now, so maybe he does age.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know. But Blade showing up, I did not expect that. And there's like a history between Ryan Reynolds and Wesley Snipes. Wesley Snipes notoriously said that he does not like Ryan Reynolds. They worked together on Blade Trinity. Ryan Reynolds was in that movie. And Wesley Snipes is not a fan. That's why Deadpool makes that joke. He's like, I thought you didn't like me.
I didn't expect any of the... I thought that the cameos were going to be limited to X-23, the bad guys that were shown in the trailers, and then Johnny Storm was like the surprise one, and I thought that was it.
Yeah, I didn't expect this at all. I definitely didn't expect Blade. Not even close.
Yeah, so when that started happening, I was like, God damn. Like,
Yeah,
what did you honestly expect when you were going in to see it? Did you, like, how many more did you expect than the trailers that you saw?
I didn't know what to expect. I knew there was going to be somebody. Like, I figured there'd be someone, but I didn't know. The one that really was the most surprising was Johnny.
Well, that's...
I guess, yeah, maybe.
That's why
then
for
after
me,
seeing Blade, like, is like, I didn't even know not to expect Blade, you know?
Well, that's why for me, like, after I saw Johnny, I was like, that's the big... Like, I didn't expect any more to come, besides X-23, who was in the trailer.
Yeah. But yeah.
Did
Blade
you guys
showing up was
feel
wild.
that? Like, were you expecting more after Johnny?
Yeah, I was.
What?
No.
Really?
Yeah, I was. Because I figured there was going to be a lot.
I just asked you that and you said you didn't.
Well,
Literally,
I didn't
like, 10
expect
seconds
Blade.
ago.
I didn't know what I was going to expect, but I expected there to be somebody. Somebody else besides X-23 and Johnny.
I was happy that Blade was in there, because I really like the Blade movies.
The Blade movies are really good.
And then there's one more.
Yeah, so
Besides
after
X-23.
Blade, then you get a close-up of a playing card flying through, and somebody catches it, and it's Gambit, Channing Tatum's Gambit, which was crazy. Channing Tatum has been linked to the character of Gambit for years. He was supposed to play Gambit in X-Men Origins Wolverine, one of the worst X-Men film, but ended up having scheduling conflicts and was unable to do it, and they had to cast somebody else.
Yeah, so when this was happening and I was in the theater, it was crazy because as these people are coming out, Elektra comes out and everyone's like, oh, and they clapped and it was like nice. And then Blade came out and that's when people like lost their minds, stood up, were cheering.
Because
Is that what that
Blade's
guy
like,
stood
oh my
up?
god, Blade's iconic. Like, oh my god, and Wesley Snipes' Blade has been such a beloved character for so long.
And then Gambit came out, and everyone was like, "What the fuck?" Like someone actually said that.
I was like the only person I think that recognized Gambit. But I've heard a lot of people like, huh? When he came out.
Yeah. It helps that you just saw X-Men the animated series where he was a major character.
That's
True.
peak Gambit in that show.
Yeah, but Gambit is. I thought they were gonna make him into a joke. He is a badass in this movie.
He's both a joke and a badass because
Yeah, I mean, as a fighter, he's badass. Like they show off Gambit fighting, and it's actually really cool.
yeah, his fight scene was cool, but every second of him talking was annoying as hell.
Annoying? I thought it was good. I thought he did a good Cajun accent.
I hated his voice so much.
It was
Well, then
funny
you're
for
not
like
gonna
one
like
scene.
Gambit.
But
Because that's
that
how he
one
talks.
was not in the
No, the
animated.
X-Men, it
you
was
can actually
fine.
understand him in the animated show.
Yeah, it was so bad even Deadpool was making fun of him.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
there's
I mean,
no way
Who's
that's
your
what
voice
he, like,
actor? The Minions?
That was a good joke.
Yeah, like
But the joke was that he was doing a real Cajun accent. Like obviously, if it was a main character Gambit, like involved in like a big part of the story, like, and it wasn't a Deadpool movie, like we would obviously understand him more.
That's what I'm saying. Like I'm okay with it because, like, I guess because Deadpool hated him too. I'm okay with it. You know.
Yeah, but he actually, I mean, it was on purpose. Like he was trying to be, and his Cajun accent was actually good. Like I was looking online to find out and see if he was just like really bad or if it was like genuinely a good Cajun accent. And they said the parts where you can't understand him is very accurate. Like that's how Cajun accent is.
I also just think like I'm fine with it because he's just a variant and he's like, you know, a side guy. He has some good fight scenes. It's whatever. Like it's not that bad to me, but man, his head looked weird.
Yeah, his suit might have been like the suit itself was good, but the headpiece looked a little funny. Yeah, it was.
I think it's because he's one of those square head guys, just in general. Like
He looked
Yeah.
just too
Channing
square.
Tatum.
He looks like a Minecraft character.
I just
Yeah,
don't
he
think
was-
Channing Tatum is a good pick for Gambit. Just saying.
Yeah, I don't know, but he also looked too clean. Like his hair was like too perfect. I wish they would have messed his hair up a little bit.
Like for me, always at least so far, peak Gambit is the X-Men '97. Like that Gambit.
Yeah, definitely.
Is
That's no
legendary.
question. Yeah, no question there.
But this one was passable.
Yeah, for a Deadpool movie and what he was supposed to do, he did good.
But yeah, that my crowd went crazy. And then right after Gambit, they're like, "We have one more," and she walks out. She honestly somehow this freaking like. What is she's probably like 17, 19 or something
19.
at this
She's
point.
19 now.
Yeah, she somehow comes out looking like the most badass of all of them.
Yeah,
She does.
X-23.
And the crowd
Even though I knew
went
X-23 was going to
crazy.
be there, I was still hyped when she showed up.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, that was epic.
Man, now you're just I know we already talked about it, but man, that scene where she put the glasses on was peak.
It was so good.
That was great. Yeah, but then they start to try and develop their plan of how to get into...
And I love how
Cassandra
Wolverine's
Nova's
like,
place
"You're all
again."
gonna fucking die."
Yeah, and
Read
they're
the
like...
room.
And Gambit said... Oh, that was great. Gambit says something about Johnny. He's like, oh... Deadpool's like, oh, this Johnny fella. I'm sure he's doing great wherever he's at.
I also like that it was just before that on their way
Wolverine just in
there.
the back laughing.
When they're on their way in the Honda Odyssey, he's like, "You got that kid fucking killed," and Deadpool's like, "He's not a kid. He's like 35."
Yeah, he's like 50. Or when he dies, we forgot this. This is another good joke. He dies, and Wolverine's like, "You just got him fucking killed," and Deadpool's like, "We're all grieving." That was funny.
I like how that was almost like that was like a recurring joke, like between Deadpool and Wolverine, that Johnny died. I loved that.
You know,
Yeah.
at the end, he had to like prove himself right.
Oh yeah, that was so funny. But yeah, Wolverine. They talk about Johnny, and they end up finding out that he was killed. Yeah.
Basically, they all agree to help, though.
Yeah, they all agree that they're gonna help, and they're all like, "Yeah." And then Jennifer Garner's like, "I'm ready. Let's do it." Blade's like, "I was born ready," or something. Says something.
You know what I thought was
line.
kind of cool, actually, was even though apparently they didn't have great movies, well, I guess Blades were all right, but one of them didn't have great movies. They kind of made it seem they made it like a nice send off for the actors almost. It's like they like related them being, what do you call it when they get sent there?
Pruned.
Yeah, they made it like them being pruned, relating to real life. It's like all your universes ended out of the blue. You had no idea, you know?
Yeah.
Like it was like respectful to the actors. It felt like, you know?
I liked that too, yeah. And with Gambits, it was funny because they asked him, like, how long have you been here? He's like, I don't know if I was where I came from. Maybe I was born here, because he never had a movie.
Poor
That was
Gambit,
funny.
man.
He was like, yeah, I don't know.
But
Not
I
sure
just thought
why
that
I
was
exist.
like, that was really cool. Like it was like respectful to the actors while still being funny, you know?
Yeah, it was like, the movie is like, in a way, a love letter to the Fox era of Marvel movies.
Oh, it
Yeah, even while
absolutely is.
shitting on Fox,
Especially at
they
the end.
still are a love letter to him, which is awesome, I think.
It's like a
Yeah.
homage.
Because realistically, the Fox Marvel movies kind of started it.
Yeah, they did. The X-Men ones did, because they preceded, and Blade especially. Blade was the first, before superhero movies were like more mainstream, because it was before X-Men. And then
I mean-
X-Men kind of took it to another level, and then Sam
But,
Raimi's
like-
Spider-Man.
Yeah, that's like the one that everyone usually thinks of is the 2001 or 2002 Spider-Man movie, but like technically speaking, it's the X-Men movies or Blade.
Yeah, because Marvel was X-Men. Like, X-Men is Marvel. Like, before the Avengers were a C-tier group. Like, they were not a big deal. The X-Men is what carried Marvel Comics, Marvel movies, like and Spider-Man, obviously. But as far as teams go, X-Men was the big thing.
Yeah. So it's cool that they like respected that stuff, but not in like a cringe way or anything, and in a way that like related it to the actual story, which was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It's nice.
Yep. And they all agree to do it. Gambit, this line by Gambit was funny to me. The one where he's like, I shot out of my daddy's dick ready.
I couldn't understand it.
Oh my god, that was funny. But they all agree, and then Wolverine says, like you said, you're all gonna fucking die. And Deadpool, read the room. But
And then they all like prepare, and that's when you get that god tier scene that is, I wish it wasn't in the trailer, but whatever, between X-23 and Wolverine.
yeah, Logan tells her what happened, what the bad things that he did, and
He's the wrong guy, man.
yeah, he's like, I'm not who you think I am. Or what does he say? He says something.
Because
but-
I'm not the guy you think I am.
yeah.
Something like that. I'm the wrong guy, and she's like, you're always the wrong guy. No, he's like, whoever you're looking for, you got the wrong guy.
Oh yeah, and she says, you were always the wrong guy. And walks away. You don't get the end of the line until later. But yeah, so they form their
They
plan.
pull
Wolverine
back
says
up on
he
the
is.
castle.
Yeah, X-23 tells Logan that they can't do it without him. But so he says he's gonna stay behind. You know what we forgot? Major thing that we forgot. The
No.
Deadpool going back and looking for the Wolverine montage of all the different versions
Oh
of Wolverine.
yeah, Cavalrine.
We forgot the freaking legendary Cavalrine. That was crazy. That was crazy.
Was awesome. And then he's like, come to our side. We'll treat you better here.
And those shit fucks down the street. Yeah,
Like,
that was
damn.
great. But there's a bunch of great Wolverine little cameos.
Yeah, a
and,
lot of those
references.
I probably didn't understand.
I think let's go through them real quick. The first one I think was Short Wolverine.
That
Or
one I
comic
understand.
accurate.
Common accurate.
Wolverine.
That was funny.
Yeah, that's an
Yeah.
easy one to understand.
Yeah, it's just basically Hugh Jackman on a 5'3" body. It was funny. That one was good. Deadpool makes a bunch of jokes about him. Who else do we have? We have the Old Man
Hulk
Logan
Green.
one. Yeah, the Old Man Logan one before that, where he gets shot with a shotgun. And then, yeah, you have the John Byrne brown and yellow suit. Oh, that one, even that suit looked great. And you get the little Hulk cameo. He shows up in the claws. That was epic because that's ripped straight from the comics. Wolverine made his debut in a Hulk comic, fighting the Hulk. Like, that was the debut of Wolverine. I'm a little bit upset that we didn't get a Wolverine Hulk fight. Maybe we'll get it later. I don't know. But maybe the fact that they mentioned this means it's not going to happen. So, I don't know.
Especially because we don't even have a good Hulk in main MCU.
Yeah. One of the best jokes that are one of the best funny moments to me was when Deadpool realizes that it's the Hulk, and he says, "I'm Marvel Jesus, you dull creature," and then the Hulk hits him.
Reminds me of Loki.
Yeah, he was referencing Loki. That was funny. Yeah, we get that one. We get Scruffy Wolverine, where he's got like the long hair and the black leather suit with the red stripe. That's from what run is it? It's like X-Men Apocalypse or something like that. The world's basically over, and I don't know if you noticed, but Logan only has one hand. He has like a metal stump. That metal stump actually has claws in it. It would have been cool if they like popped him, but he just uses the one hand. So that was cool. Who else do we get? Oh, the Logan tied to the cross or the X.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's another comic cover reference. That was really all that one was. And then the big reveal. He's like, "Oh, this one looks good." And it's a close-up of Henry, or we don't know it, but it's a close-up of the bicep and like the trap of the Wolverine. He's like working on a motorcycle with a cigar.
He turns around and
he's
does
like,
Wait a minute, from behind you almost look like...
You kind of look like Oh my god!
It's cavalry.
It's the Cavalrine. The legends are true. Oh man, that was
that
good.
was actually another mind-blowing thing. That was like the kind of cameo I was expecting from Chris Evans. You know,
Yeah.
I didn't expect him to be in it as much as he was. I thought he'd be like Cavalrine.
Just him saying the Cavalrine, the legends are true. That part alone was epic. And then Henry Cavill does like the most epic pop of the Wolverine claws. He does like the reload thing that he does from like Mission Impossible or whatever movie it's from. The way he pops his claws, you got to watch it again, but it's really cool. He like shakes. I'm doing it. You can't see me, but
like he's like cocking his arms, but then the claws come out.
Yes. It's so good. Such a Henry Cavill thing. But yeah, and then we get the version of Logan that we have. So, but yeah. Fast forward back to
they hit up the castle.
Deadpool,
we get an awesome fight scene with all the side characters, and then
that scene
Wolverine
where they all ride
steps
out of the minivan though. That scene was epic. And then
especially with Wolverine stepping out.
Yeah. Oh, another joke that they made. They're like, Deadpool's like, so who else you got around here? Please tell me it's Magneto. And Blade's like, no, Cassandra Nova killed him. He's like, fuck.
Now you guys get cheap.
Yeah, he's like, well, then there's got to be a Magneto helmet lying around here. Nope, she melted it. Fuck. That was funny.
They need the Juggernaut's helmet to be immune to her.
Yeah, to control her psychic powers. But that scene in the Honda Odyssey when they're riding up on the base and Blade pulls out the bazooka and he's like, where'd you guys get that? He's like, it was the Punishers. He's like, which one? There was like 5 of them. And Blade says, well, there's only one Blade and there's only ever going to be one Blade. And Deadpool looks right at the camera. That was a good one. Because they've already casted Mahershala Ali as Blade. That was a great scene. Oh, and they mentioned Daredevil too. And Jennifer Garner's like, don't worry about it. It's fine. Referencing her and Ben Affleck's divorce. That was funny. You know another joke that they had that I was surprised by? They say something about Wolverine being in the suit, and he's like, oh yeah, he doesn't take his shirt off or something because he let himself go after the divorce. Like, Hugh Jackman literally just got a divorce like a few months ago. That was a surprising one. I was like, oh wow, they went there.
I thought it was funny when like he has the suit on at some point, or it might be the mask or something, but at some point he's like, you're finally wearing the suit after 20 years, like you're not ashamed to be in a superhero movie.
Yeah, that was good. Oh man, he wore black leather for 20 years. That was funny.
There's also a point where he's like, Marvel's gonna have you doing this till he's 90.
Yeah, that was good.
That happens later, actually. In his ear, till you're 90.
Yeah, that actually happens later. But yeah, but they ride up on the base. They have the epic not montage.
Wolverine stepping out was sick.
Yeah, Wolverine stepping out of the back of the Honda Odyssey, out of the trunk.
I like to imagine that though. Like He was just laying in the back like they're never gonna expect this.
He's just thinking this is gonna be epic.
And then they get there and he comes out. He's like, I was here the whole time.
Yeah. But man, that scene was epic. And then we get a great fight scene with all of the characters. They all get like a nice little moment to shine. Elektra gets her moment. We see Gambit being like super cool. I think his fighting was the coolest.
I think so too. It's a shame that will probably be the only time we ever see Gambit's powers look that cool, because he'll never be in another R-rated movie.
Yeah. I mean, he could still look cool. He just won't be blowing people's heads off. But yeah, we get Blade gets some really cool moments, and X-23 gets some moments. I wish X-23 would have got more. I really wanted her to be more involved. But
I wish she
was
got a
still
little
good.
more, yeah. But she did get... She got the most of them, so...
Yeah, and she got
She got the helmet to them.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and she put her glasses on. That was epic.
That was epic.
Yeah. But they get the helmet on her. They basically succeed. And they're able to convince her to let them go back to Deadpool's reality, pretty much. I wish they would have showed us X-23 cutting Juggernaut's head off. They cut right before she does it. I wish they would have showed that.
That was pretty tragic.
Yeah, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
So, they get her. An escape.
Yeah, with a sling ring from Doctor Strange. And Deadpool says it, Strange.
Yeah,
and it has
question
the
though.
music plays.
So those can get you to the TVA?
No, actually. The TVA actually says that in Loki, that they are unable to do that.
So how did that happen?
The example, or the explanation, is another plot hole, because it is a enhanced sling ring with a time stone and a reality stone in it. But
I
none
thought
of those
were
stones are
useless in the
supposed to work.
TVA.
Yeah, so it's just another plot hole.
I'm just going to assume that since she is so god tier and can get to the TVA on her own, she's able to somehow make
Maybe
that
her
happen.
psychic powers just somehow boost
Yeah,
it.
since she's so powerful, they should have done that. Since she's so powerful, she did something to this ring with her, because she can get to the TVA on her own.
Yeah, they do say that.
So they should have just said that she did something to the ring, you know?
Yeah, that'll be my headcanon, but it is a plot hole. But yeah, she gets him back. They jump through the portal. They land on a Kia. Deadpool calls it out. He's like, "Oh, this feels like a Kia."
And
And that's the scene where the kids are like, "It's Wolverine and Deadpool." He's like, "Yep, Disney brought him out of retirement. He's gonna be doing this till he's 90."
Whisper it, Bert.
Yeah, that was good.
What's
yeah.
the guy's name? The awesome friend?
Ron.
Wait, Peter?
Oh yeah, it's Peter.
Peter.
Why do you think
Everyone
Ron?
loves Peter. That's
Why is
Weasley.
it wrong? But yeah, they get back and they're
trying
gonna try and stop
him
the
from
Time
setting
Ripper.
off his
The MacGuffin. But then Cassandra Nova shows right back up, like within minutes, and
Wait,
says
maybe
that
is
she
that
wants
a
the
plot
Time
hole then?
Ripper.
Because they didn't technically go to the TVA; they just went to a different dimension. Oh, but they took them out of the void, which is
yeah,
the TVA.
which you're not supposed to be able to do.
All right, continue.
But yeah, so she shows up. She wants to use the Time Ripper. This is her whole motivation, to basically destroy every timeline and leave it where there's just a universe of the void, and she's in control of it all.
I also like her motivation where she was like, "Yeah, I'm fine just being in the void," and then the guy like tried to kill her, and she's like, "All right, fuck you. I was being nice. Now I'm not gonna be nice."
Yeah, her motivation is just psychotic, crazy person,
liked
pretty
it,
much, which it worked. It was good enough. But yeah, so she goes down into the subway and basically starts taking over the Time Ripper, and then that's when we get the reveal of another portal opening up, and Dogpool shows up.
Yeah, that's when he drops to the knees, and it was awesome until Handsome Pool came, and then I was like, God damn it.
Nice Pool comes back and warns them that the rest of the Deadpool Corps is showing up. And then we get a bunch more cameos in this, too. I don't know if you guys know who all of these were.
I don't know any of them.
Yeah, so I didn't think. But
I think
the
it's a
Deadpool
little
Corps
bit
shows up.
Wild though, like that they're just one-hitting Deadpools.
Yeah. But the Deadpool Corps shows up, and it's led by Ladypool, who is played by Blake Lively. That's Ryan Reynolds' real-life wife. She's the one that voiced the character, and I think she was actually in the suit, too. I think she was the actor in the suit.
It's like a waste of money. You could put anyone. She didn't take the mask off.
I mean, she looked good in the suit. So we had Blake Lively, Cowboy Deadpool. That was Matthew McConaughey. If you guys know him.
How does I guess it's in the credits.
The voice too, like you can tell once you know that it's him, that it sounds like him. Kidpool was Blake was Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively's real life daughter, Inez Reynolds.
Kidpool was lame.
I liked Kidpool. She had one of the best lines. She was like, "Hey, shut the fuck up," or if I wanted you to talk, I'd have you take Wolverine's dick out of your mouth.
I didn't really think it was that funny.
I thought that one was really funny. We have her. We've got... What's another one? There's one other one I think I'm forgetting.
There was like a million. There's more than one.
But there's a few of them that are voiced and that have... the flying head. That was Nathan Fillion. Headpool was
that one
Nathan
I could
Fillion.
tell, actually.
Yeah. There might have been one other one I'm forgetting, but...
Anyways,
whatever.
though.
Baby Pool. Baby Pool was their newborn baby.
Then there was a fight between Deadpool and Wolverine and a million Deadpools. But then there was also that scene right before where Deadpool took cover behind Nice Pool.
This is one of the best scenes in the movie, I think.
That was just
it was
to
so
get
funny.
his guns and his dog, let's be honest.
Yeah, but I was so happy he freaking died.
And there's some of the best Wolverine lines, too, in that.
He's like, "Oh no, I think he died to internal bleeding. He died to fucking murder."
Yeah. He he uses him as a human shield, and he gets loaded into by all the Deadpools. And what does he say? He says, how long does it take you to regenerate? He's like, regenerate? And he just looks at Wolverine.
And his head blows up.
No, that was before. They're hiding behind the car again at that point. And then they go back out, and he's like using him. He's like, "Why are you stopping?" He's like, "I'm tired, and you're not using your fucking legs." He's like, "I can't." He's like, "Why not?" "I'm paralyzed." And then he keeps going, and then he has like the moment where he's like, "You're gonna live. Just say it with me. You're gonna live. I'm gonna live." And his head explodes.
I loved that he died. That was my favorite. That was so
funny. And then you get the Wolverine line with, "No, he died to fucking murder."
That was hilarious. That was one of his funniest lines.
Yeah, he had a few, but that was definitely a top one. And then this was one of my hypest moments of the entire movie. Right before that, Wolverine uses dog pull, and they're like, "Hold your fire!" They won't shoot the dog. He walks over to Deadpool. That was a good moment, too.
Every Deadpool was like, "We don't shoot dog pool."
Yeah. He's one of us.
Then they come out with the trailer. The
oh
trailer
my God.
scene.
That scene, even seeing it in the theater after seeing it in the trailer was still epic. That song that plays, that was peak. Oh my gosh.
But also, he actually puts the thing on there.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. They walk out together and that song is playing. It's so epic. This might be my favorite part of the whole movie, honestly. I really liked this part. And then they're sitting there, the music's playing, and Wolverine slow-mo puts the cowl on. Oh my gosh, that was awesome.
And Deadpool wants to know what he'll do with those blowjob handles.
Yeah, Deadpool mentions, he's like, "What the fuck? You just saving the good stuff for the end?" Or something like that. And he's like, and then Wolverine drops the coldest line, and he goes, "Mostly for killing." Oh, that was good. And then he says the blowjob handles thing. And
that was honestly a great scene, the fight too.
It was. And Deadpool, or Wolverine, all he does is like that little grunt. He just was like, "Ugh," when he said the blowjob handles thing. And then Deadpool has like another really funny line. He's like, "I'm sorry, I'm just a catty bitch when I'm jealous." That was funny.
That fight was so good. And there was this, I thought this was also one of the funniest parts, like just the visual to me. there's literally like 50 Deadpools, and Wolverine's holding them all back and just stabbing into the crowd, and Deadpool was behind him, just
That was a
pushing him
pretty good
forward.
one.
I thought that
Yeah.
was hilarious. Like, that looked so funny to me. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah, I do. I
Bert?
noticed it on the
Yeah.
second time.
I loved that part. Wasn't that funny?
Yes.
Yeah, that was good. Trying to think. There was one other thing. Of all the fights, though, I think this might have been like the weakest one. It's still great, but I think I liked all the other ones better. But it was still really good.
It's hard to rank
It's
it,
the
but it
one-
was
I
it's
like
a
the
one shot.
minivan
There's a
one
lot
the
of-
most.
Yeah,
The what?
I think I
The
see too.
minivan one.
That's my favorite, yeah.
Yeah, I think I might agree. It's tough. But yeah, they beat all the Deadpools, then they regenerate, obviously.
They have the scene out of the back of the bus that's supposed to be like hype.
Yeah, and Deadpool trips, falls out of it. He's like, that's all they're going to remember from this moment.
But really, everyone's just going to remember the bad looking CGI there.
Yeah. Maybe that's why he said that. Maybe they knew that the CGI was bad. That would
So they
actually be
had to-
super meta and actually kind of make it more funny.
It would have been more funny if he said something about it.
Yeah. Man, I just thought of that. Maybe that was what they were doing. That'd be so smart. But what happens next? Can't
It pretty
remember.
much wraps up after that. They go down into... Oh, no. Then Peter shows up.
Yeah, Peter shows up.
And he pretty
And we
much
find out
stops the fight.
Yeah.
They're like, what happened? And the Deadpools are like, every Deadpool's got a Peter. And the Peters are all like, Peter. And they're just-
Is it one Deadpool with the fingers in his mouth? That was so funny. I don't know why. Like, just when they were holding him up, for some reason that got me.
I
that
love
was funny.
Peter. Everyone loves Peter.
That's one thing I wish. I like Peter, but of Deadpool's supporting cast from the older movies, I wish Dopinder was in the movie more.
Which one's that?
The cab driver, Dopinder. He
Oh,
was
yeah, he's
so
barely
funny,
in the
but Peter
movie.
kind of took that role instead. Because Dopinder was so funny in the first two. But yeah. Then
Then they go into like the subway or something
the
to stop
subway,
the
yeah.
thing.
and they have to. Paradox gives like super long exposition about how one of them has to go down there and basically overload the machine, but in the process, that one person is gonna die. And so they go down, and Logan says that he'll do it, and Deadpool like tricks him, hits him, and goes in there and says he's gonna do it himself instead. Logan's all pissed off about that, trying to break in. There's some funny moments with Deadpool too in that moment in the window. He does some funny stuff.
Yeah.
Him stalling.
Then he's
Yeah.
like, I'm actually kind of scared.
Yeah.
But eventually he goes in, he tries to do it. Wolverine breaks in, and they do it together.
Yeah. They save the world with the power of friendship.
Then his
And
shirt
Madonna?
blows off.
And Madonna, yes.
His shirt blew off, Bert.
That was
That
funny.
fucking insane.
That was hilarious, though.
That was so funny.
Yeah.
Sometimes when there's serious things going on and something like that happens, it usually like turns me off to what's going on. But I actually thought it was really
Especially
funny.
because Deadpool took a moment to like lean back and
He's like,
take it all
"Holy
in.
shit."
And he was like,
Yeah, he was
you guys
like,
seeing this
"Holy
shit?
He's like, holy shit.
That
This
was
guy.
funny.
Yeah. But goddamn, Hugh Jackman.
Dude, he
was
aged
freaking ripped.
like wine.
Huge jacked man.
That was crazy. Like, I wonder how much they like helped him out with that. Like, I know he's ripped, but Jesus.
Yeah, so then it cuts back to the top, and TVA girl from
Yeah,
Loki.
B-15.
Yeah, she shows up, and the dude that was like basically running this whole illegal operation, he's like, they sacrificed their life as heroes. It's this big thing. And he's giving a big speech, and then they come around the corner. He goes, "Fuck!"
Yeah, that was funny.
And then they're like, "Hey, this guy fucked us. Kill him." And she fires him or whatever, sends him away.
Yeah. Peter shows up and tells them that Deadpool is from this universe and blah, blah, blah. They tell him that Logan is can stay also. Oh, and Deadpool, this is a good moment too. Deadpool asks B-15 to fix Logan's universe, but she actually gives a really good line where it's like something like, I don't think there's any reason to fix it because what happened to him is why he was able to do what he did today. and it's what made him who he is now. So
Unlucky
I think
for him, though. He just got bodied.
yeah, I think everything is the way it's supposed to be. Is what she says pretty much.
So, assuming
That's
they
nice.
don't come back, right? Either one of them. Does that mean that they just now live their days out in the Fox universe, but now it's only really them left?
I guess, but there's no way they don't come back. They're coming back. It's like a given. They're coming back in Secret Wars at least.
I feel
I'm sure
like them
there'll be a
coming
way.
back is going to be a huge fumble, though. Like,
What if they come back when Doom merges all the fucking...
Yeah, that's
like-
Secret Wars.
Yeah.
It's just going to suck to have Deadpool come back in a PG-13 movie.
Well, it wouldn't be his movie though. There would
They'd
be
give
so much
him
other
the
stuff
one
going
F-word
on.
allowed.
Yeah,
Or they would
he'd
have
probably
someone
make a
steal
joke
it
about
from him
too.
and then him get mad about them stealing it.
Yeah.
With the way I can see it being good is that he just does something insane off camera and you're having someone else react to it, you know? Like, holy shit, what is he doing?
Yeah. But he'll be back. I wonder if Hugh Jackman will be back. I hope so. It seems
I
like
think-
they implied that he's going to come back. I mean,
I
he's
expect
playing-
him to come back, but not as like a significant role, like nothing more than cameos.
I don't think they're going to
probably.
do a Wolverine movie in a very long time. And Kevin Feige came out and said that he has no plans to recast Wolverine for the foreseeable future. So I mean, that alone implies.
I think like at most you get, you know, like how the Spider-Men were in that movie. At most.
Yeah, I definitely think he's coming back, and Deadpool too. And Deadpool has to come back because there was that scene on the
Captain
with
room
crying Thor.
with Thor.
Yeah.
He's like, "Why is Thor crying? Tell
And
me."
they said that was on the main timeline, so it has to happen. So
Yeah.
at some point, Thor will cry over
That
at
will be
Deadpool.
paid off. That is definitely being paid off.
It has to. Like
Do
they
you think
said,
they
this
already
is the
know what
future.
they want to do for that scene, or they just put that in there and be like, we'll figure it out later?
I don't know. Good question.
Deadpool
because-
and Thor together will be hilarious.
I
though.
feel like
Deadpool
they
and
have it
Spider-Man
figured
together
out.
too.
I think they have
Maybe.
a plan.
Probably
What'd he
something
say?
dumb.
The Russo brothers are doing it now, right?
But
Yeah,
they weren't
they
involved
had
with
nothing
this.
to do really with Deadpool.
No, but they planned out pretty much the
I
entirety
don't know
of...
because they were just announced as the directors, and this movie had already been
Been for years.
Kang Dynasty had already
Yeah.
been written and everything by other directors. So that
I
means the
wouldn't be
Russos.
But that's also... That wasn't a hard scene to throw in, too.
Yeah, I
Oh
was
yeah,
gonna
it's
say I
gonna be
wouldn't
like a
be
throwaway scene that's gonna be
I wouldn't
quick.
be surprised if they threw that in there just to force them to include Deadpool in there at some point. You
Yeah,
know,
or maybe-
like how with the Guardian special they stole the thing.
It's like force their
Bucky.
hand.
Yeah, and they're like, oh, you gotta at least have an after credit scene with Deadpool and Thor now.
Yeah.
What if it's the actors instead of like the real ones? Like, you know how like occasionally Thor will have like the
Oh yeah,
actor?
it's played by an actor.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's what I thought at first, but then seeing it the second time, I wasn't sure. I think it actually was Chris Hemsworth. I don't know now.
I
To
thought
me,
it was the actor at first,
I thought
too.
it was Fat Thor for some reason. That's what it looked like to me.
I thought it was an actor Thor. So maybe...
I don't know. I'd have to like freeze
Because
it and actually
Deadpool has
see.
never actually seen Thor.
Just
Yeah,
on
he's
the
not seen any of
videos.
them.
So he
Yeah.
just kind of just is guessing what Thor looks like. So that could just be the fake Thor.
No,
No,
it
he
was
would know
on
what Thor
TV.
looks like because he breaks the fourth wall. He knows.
Also, we forgot to say that he tried to join the Avengers. He like went to pre-Infinity War, or it might have
Oh,
been
yeah.
pre-Endgame.
Yeah, he did try to join the
MCU
Avengers
to
and
try and
failed.
join the Avengers.
That was another cameo. Happy Hogan.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good scene too.
And then the credits, the first credit thing was pretty awesome with the montage of all the Fox movies. That was really cool.
Yeah, I did like that. That was cool.
Then we get
I-
the final credit scene. Bert?
Where we see... I don't know what his name is.
Deadpool.
Well, yeah, Deadpool. Deadpool's trying to prove that...
Yeah.
What's
No,
his
yeah.
face? Actually did say the things he did. Against
Yeah, Johnny.
That was
Storm.
crazy to
Against
hear that
Nova.
stuff come out of frickin-
Captain America.
Yeah, that was crazy
Yeah.
to hear from him.
So he was like,
And
let's check the
Deadpool-
cams. So he pulled
Yeah,
up like the
Deadpool's like,
footage.
I'm tired of all the slander. I'm gonna show you what really happened. And he's
But
like,
he's-
roll the tape.
But you still got him killed. You didn't have to say it.
But you said you can quote him.
Yeah, Johnny's like, and you can quote me at the end.
Shouldn't
That
have
was
said
crazy.
that.
That was funny. I liked that. It's funny.
It was.
That was good.
But
Great movie.
That's Deadpool and Wolverine.
For me, it's a 9.
Yeah.
Oh wow, you went up.
Mine's a 9.
Wow. This might be the first time ever that I'm lower than you guys on a Marvel movie, and a good one too. Because I think I'm an 8. I'm an 8. That's crazy. I don't think we've ever been flipped like that.
Because I also think that the Spider-Man is a 9. This is just like slightly stronger for me.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, I almost gave it a 7 too. After seeing it a second time, like my score dropped a point, I think, because it originally probably was a 9, but I dropped it to an 8.
Wow. Cool.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
that's
it
cool.
for this. Let's wrap it up. I'm tired.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. I have to get up in like 3 hours.
Thanks, guys. Keep it salty.